What's going on, and welcome back to the channel, everybody. It's your boy Ezigo, and today is going to be a good day of some chess fun. So if y'all are ready to have some fun with me and kind of lock into just watching a game, hopefully too, go ahead and make sure that you subscribe to the channel. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. You know, okay, I am happy to get a white game. The other day I was trying to practice chess again, but the only issue with me trying to practice chess is that as I was trying to learn the Italian game, right? When you're watching these videos and getting instruction from people, everything makes sense when a professional's showing you, right? But the issue actually then comes when you realize that when it's time for you to operate by yourself, it's like, I don't know if I actually have the facilities to do so. And everything becomes a little bit more difficult. So I'm going to try and see if I can make a good game of this regardless. Ooh, maybe there's something here, right? Well, because this is kind of blocking, I could try and pin his. Maybe I should just keep developing out a little bit. Yeah. Actually, I like this move. Because now I'm threatening. And he can't recapture this because the only thing that can recapture was his queen who's defending. But now this guy offered to draw. No, brother. I can't give you that. But yeah, his queen was the only thing defending, and I added an extra defender. So if his queen captured, then I would have just taken his queen. The only thing now is actually closing out this game with my lead. I feel like it's kind of in the games that I've played off video, right? I've made it an easy time for my opponents to kind of make their way back into the game. And so I'm hoping I don't do the same with this guy, but we'll see. Okay, he actually left. So I guess in a second you'll see the end of this game, and then we'll move on to the next. The air horns for my opponent rage quitting. It wasn't for like a job well done because I don't think the game was that impressive. But yeah, he just blundered. That's okay though. Let's go ahead and try and see if we can play another game and actually see if we can get a good one in. Okay, see, that's the frustrating part because now I'm playing black, and I didn't necessarily want to play black just because I wanted to try something different. And kind of learn a new white opening, practice that. But sometimes you don't get your choice in life, right? Sometimes life gives you what you get, and you have to be comfortable with the outcome of it. So in the spirit of making things work, we're gonna go ahead and just embrace playing black right now and try and do the Pirc Defense once again, similar to like the last video, I guess. I know the Pirc Defense and King's Indian are very similar, but the main difference is what white side is doing against, I guess, the setup of getting the bishop fianchettoed and kind of setting up like d6. And I think if I remember correctly, if I eventually get a pawn here, that'd be nice for me just because I can like end up forking the knight and the bishop, but also putting the bishop here I think is the actual proper play, and pinning his knight to his queen, eventually ending up taking it, especially if he castles this side. If his queen moves out of position, and it works out because then this has to take, or even if his queen doesn't, I can't remember exactly why, but I think you're still supposed to take this regardless. But yeah, back to what I was saying about like the actual idea. One of the main ideas I think of this is being able to kind of advance your pawns up in this kind of manner to put the rook into play, but also do what Hikaru kind of says with the connect four a little thing. Now, everything I could have just said can be complete BS, y'all. And I want people to know this is not an instructional video. I am not a professional. I'm just a man who tries his best. But that's the beauty of it, right? I'm a 900 something elo. I could say, can I say 1,000 if I lost the rating? Can I claim to be a 1,000 elo player still? But anyway, I'm just a 900 to 1,000 elo player who's trying his best, and through the thought process you get to see the mistakes I make, but also some logic that at times can be right. And I think it's kind of like up to you to use critical thinking as well to decide for you if things make sense or not. This is kind of nice because this pawn structure on this side is weakened. He can still castle queenside but honestly, I don't know if that's going to be a good decision for him either. I'm also keen to move up my pawns here. Capture with this one. And then potentially activate my knight here to defend the pawn that's going to go there. But he could just go there and kick it off. So he did castle instead. That's fine. How about this? I'm going to add an extra defender for this, but also get my knight into play and maybe open up a path for my rook eventually as I move my queen to also connect my rooks. I got something floating in my coffee right now. No one asked, but that's not the best feeling, you know? Okay, so he moved this off. This is this pawn's weaker, but he's opened up for himself on these diagonals now. It still has 2 defenders here and only 1 attacker. I can't really add another thing in just yet to try and if I move this, he takes, I take, he takes, I take. This isn't necessarily in a bad spot either. Oh, but that actually is not good because then I may have acted too soon. And I may have just blundered my rook because I'm not going to lose. I was refusing to lose my queen here, but now I don't think I even have to lose my queen because he moved his knight. I think, okay, so in my head, right, I can go back through all this in the analysis, but in my head, I take, he takes, and he's up a pawn because obviously I'm not going to capture there and lose my queen. Plus, I could move this out of the way, but then maybe it wasn't too bad for him. Maybe I'm just chatting. Or maybe it wasn't too bad for me and I'm just chatting. Well, let me see if I can get this out of my drink. Calculations are hard, man. And somebody made a good point before. I can't remember if it was in a video I watched. I think it was a video, honestly. But I'm not 100% certain if it was in either a video I watched or if it was a person in watching one of my videos. But to 100% try and rely on what your opponent's going to do based off of moves that aren't necessarily forced moves, it's really tough, you know? Like, that's a really tough thing to try and do. Hold on. I can't move there because then this pawn is kind of free. I think that pawn might be just be cooked in general, right? Right? That could be. Or there could be something here I'm not seeing. No, that pawn's French toast. And that's okay. Let's say he takes, I take. Actually, maybe not. Yo, this is why you're not supposed to just do a million calculations, because sometimes your calculations are just wrong, especially when you're lower rated. But I am trying to think through things. Okay. Oh, my brain, baby, my brain. This might not be too bad. Yeah. Yeah, my queen's not in immediate danger. Okay, so this is my thoughts from before, but you know what? Again, we'll go through an analysis maybe. Obviously, I got to move my queen off, and I can't move it anywhere along here. There. Well, I can't go there in general, but... And I probably shouldn't waste too much time trying to figure this out. I don't mind putting it here, adding an extra defender for this pawn as I look to move it up and kind of take away some spaces for his dark square bishop. What's nice is that at least that he doesn't have his knight anymore to add an extra level of pressure on this pawn, because right now with the queen and the bishop, the only thing that I think could have made it like a hard attack here without me moving some pieces around to defend would have been an extra knight, but again, he only has a dark square bishop and rooks that are not going to be able to penetrate in this far. Okay. It seems like he's looking to activate his rook a bit as well. I don't know if there's anything I can do to 100% stop that. But I do like... Okay. If this pawn wasn't in the way, there was a really good move here. I'm going to do this. And he might take my rook, but then I could... Ooh, but that's not good because... Well, I guess now that my knight's here, actually, his queen can't get to this pawn so easily. So if he does take my rook, I can recapture and put some pressure maybe on his bishop. Obviously, he just moves the bishop off, though, right? So he can't move it here or here. He can't move it here. He can move it back, or he can move it to one of these two, or he can go here. Let's try and figure out some paths of what we could do if he decides to go down any of these specifically. So, if he goes there, okay, I was about to say now my knight's kind of pinned. Okay, this is also isn't horrible for me. It's not ideal, but if I can somehow get his queen maybe off of the light squared diagonal here. Okay, that was actually a really bad move from him, because now I get checkmate, right? Well, no. But... wait, hold on. He's... Okay. Wait. Because I think the best thing for my opponent to do here was to just not move his rook in a position where it can get taken first. Let me just go ahead and clear out some of these pieces. Some of these pawns. I don't have to overthink this game right now. I get this bishop now. Well, not bishop. Wait, hold up. What? Huh? It's all right. You know why? Because I definitely have a pawn advantage here, right? I have a pawn advantage. Both of our kings aren't really in play yet. I could bring mine out. What am I? I have 7 pawns to his 5. This game might get a little sweaty here, but we can figure things out. He probably goes there, I'm assuming. And we have plenty of time. So now it's just a race to see who could get where before I make any rash moves. Yeah, let me move up. And now I don't even have to worry about this side too much unless his king gets there. Oh, his king can't go down any of these paths. But to be fair, I also cannot move in a certain direction too. I don't want to block this off, but if I go there, he gets to just take. So how about I go here for now? And I actually work maybe to get my bishop out of this point. I go here. I go here. And then I push up, maybe get his king in check, make him move off out this way, maybe even up. Okay, also not bad. Honestly, I wouldn't be mad at this move in general though, right? Yeah. I like this. Yo, am I playing good moves? This is the kind of chess I like to play, where nothing's just like given for certain, and you're having to figure it out, you know? You're having to figure it out piece by piece, moment by moment, and just making something happen. His king has to kind of Move out there. Okay. Also fine with this. Because if he doesn't take, then I'm just going to take, and it's just... I'm kind of forcing his hand, you know? I'm forcing some exchanges here. Oh, I'm playing another guy from the US. Okay, cool. The only... I guess I could still move my bishop around. I just don't want to have to get us into a position where we're, like, repeating moves. No, because he, yeah. That's not right, because he could just take with the bishop. And I definitely shouldn't use too much time. It's just, bro, I do not want this to be a draw. That would be so anticlimactic if this ended up a draw. We're going to see what we can make happen. Come on, chess gods. Reward your boy for making his return. Come on. This would be a banger video too. I love this game so far. It was an interesting one. I know we probably made some bad mistakes, but this also might be the point where I kind of go silent just to try and figure out a path out that doesn't include a draw. I'm just going to start hunting that bishop and seeing what I can make happen. Because I refuse to let this go in a draw. I refuse to let this go in a draw. The thing is, he could have moved his king over to get there so many times before. Oh my god, this ended in a draw? Oh my god, I can't believe this game ends in a draw. Oh, that's so frustrating. That's so frustrating. This guy is a cheeser, bro. You know, I can't even be mad because this is probably a good learning moment. Because at the end of the day, I probably didn't have to essentially concede to drawing the game. I didn't think I was doing so. But, you know, it's been so long, I guess. I make certain moves. I did repetitions that I didn't even realize. I could have probably tried to break the tension with these pawns. Or even this one, and like position myself over here to start working against that and moving things around. So that's definitely on me. But it was a fun game nonetheless. So I hope you all enjoyed it. And if you did, make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel as I try and hit 1,000 subscribers, and leave a comment about what you might have found enjoyable and what you also want to see me do in the future. And with that being said, I'll talk to y'all next time. Peace.